fits the flow of your life with convenient and easy-to-use tech that makes you ready to wake up, pay your friend back with Zelle in the Citizens mobile app, all before your morning snooze. Quickly buy groceries with your Citizens card and your digital wallet for your next culinary adventure. And easily deposit that birthday check with mobile deposit. So whether you're relaxing, creating, or celebrating, we have tech that fits the flow of your life. Citizens, made ready.
Good evening and welcome to our 2021 Virtual Tulip Ball. As we look back at 2020, we all know the story. Everyone started the year with much excitement and hope. We started to plan for our Tulip Festival and Tulip Ball, and then everything shut down. And all of our worlds were transformed. And that's one of the reasons that I'm so grateful to tonight's sponsor, not only the sponsor for the Tulip Ball, but for our Tulip Festival, and that's Citizens. They remained committed to us, to the city, and to this festival to ensure that we continue to have their support. And we are also grateful to the many other sponsors who stayed with us as we planned for what was not expected and planned to bring things to you as virtually as best we could. And we couldn't have done that, not only without Citizens, but without Tri-City Rentals, without Albany Medical Center, and Kabricki Construction, and many, many others, those who signed on to be our sponsors as well as our honorary committee. I also want to thank our 2020 Tulip Queen in Court. They had to adjust and they had to work virtually, but they worked incredibly hard and they were phenomenal ambassadors for our city. I'm so grateful for their service and for all that they contributed. It has been a pleasure getting to know these incredible young women. So we want to give a big shout out to our Tulip Queen in Court, Kaya, Kimberly, Maya, Karina, and Samantha. Thank you for your service to the city. Our Tulip Ball helps us to raise money for the Capital City Fund, something that I started when I first became mayor in 2014, as a way for us to be able to raise money for arts organizations, community-based organizations, and our veterans. We fund our Veterans Day and Memorial Day parades out of this funding, as well as purchasing flags for the cemeteries in the region for Memorial Day. We also use this funding to help support our Gold Star Mothers Luncheon, which we host every year. And so your contributions and the money that we raise goes to great causes here in the city of Albany. And I thank you for those contributions. You know, it wouldn't be the Tulip Ball and Tulip Festival if we didn't talk about the genesis of all of this. And that is our friendship with Nijmegen in the Netherlands. The city helped Nijmegen to rebuild after the war. And as a thank you, Nijmegen sent us tulips that were planted in Washington Park, and thus the Tulip Festival was born. This evening, you're going to hear from our friends in Nijmegen who we miss dearly and who we look forward to being able to get back together with as we exit COVID. I also want to let you know that you're going to be seeing my new garden. I had the pleasure of spending some time with our city gardeners to get some tips and advice from them on my own attempts at growing a garden here at our new home in Arbor Hill. So I hope that all of you enjoy this evening. We have a lot in store for you. I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves as I hand things off to Ted Smith, who is the New York Market Executive with Citizens. Cheers.
Thank you, Mayor Sheehan. Good evening to the Capital Region. On behalf of Citizens, we want to say congratulations and thank you to the City of Albany for their partnership. Although we would prefer to be in person, we are excited to celebrate with you virtually and look forward to highlighting the great work of the Tulip Queen in Court and the Capital City Fund benefactors. This unprecedented year has been difficult for everyone, and the entire Tulip Queen in Court has dedicated their time to many virtual volunteer activities and COVID-friendly appearances, despite the obstacles they were presented. Citizens is proud to partner with the City of Albany as the presenting sponsor of the Tulip Ball. Special thanks to the Tulip Queen in Court, the mayor, and her entire team for working together to make this happen. Tonight, the team will highlight veteran events sponsored by the Capital City Fund, which include providing funding to veteran organizations to hold events like the Veterans and Memorial Day parades, and to appropriately honor the resting places of Albany County veterans every Memorial Day. Now let's see what some of the benefactors of the Capital City Fund have been up to recently.
So we lived in our old van, traveled all across this land, me and you. We'll end up hand in hand, somewhere down on the sand, just me and you. Just as free, free as we'll ever be, just as free, free as we'll ever be.
Dear friends in Albany, greetings from Nijmegen, your sister city. It's always special, your Tulip Festival, even like today in a virtual way. And a special hello to the Tulip Queen and her court and the team. The pandemic has absolutely been a troubled and scary time, and for many it still is. We're getting on track with vaccinations in Nijmegen, and we look forward to a post-COVID period and a period of rebuilding. That brings me back to the help we received in 1947 from the city and the residents of the capital region of Albany. And that was definitely a time of rebuilding and solidarity. Thank you again. For me, that makes the bond between the sister cities even stronger. Post-COVID and getting on our feet again will make for an even stronger connection in the future. Next year is 2022, and I would like to invite you to join us in celebrating the 75th anniversary of our sister city bond. And join us in celebrating in Nijmegen in September. In the meantime, the orange wonder tulips bloom in Albany and also in Nijmegen. They bloom at the Waalkade, and they also bloom now in the city center near the railroad station. They remind us of you and our friendship. Have a wonderful tulip festival. We wish we could be there with you in person.
Hello, I'm Diane Shuchuk, a curator at the Albany Institute of History and Art, and today I'm going to show you some of the treasures that we store in our fabulous storage facility up here at 125 Washington Avenue. So first I'm going to show you one of the earliest items we have in our collection associated with the Tulip Queen, and it's actually this 1949 designed Tulip Queen crown. The crown was designed by Hajo Christoph, who had come to this country from Germany. He was a member of the Albany Artists Group, and at that time the Albany Artists Group in 1949 decided to hold a carnival gala kind of ball around the Tulip Festival. So Hajo Christoph was a member of the Albany Artists Group, and he was commissioned, or volunteered, I'm not sure, to create a crown for the festival. So we own the original designs for the tulip crowns. And at that time in 1949, for the first 2 years, they also presented a king and queen at the festival. So they nominated a king and queen. This is the queen's crown. This is the king's crown. And it was described specifically in newspapers, so that's how we know this is the king's crown. So the king's crown, they only had a king for 2 years because it said that the men, newspapers said that the men, there weren't enough men around because they had to go into the service at the time. So 2 years there was a king, and then it just became a tulip queen solo, doing all the duties she needed to do. The original crown did not have this rabbit fur and ermine lining. It was designed again in 1949, and a couple years later, as you can see from the drawing, this band was added. And George Right-Hand, who's a metalsmith in Albany, who came to this country from Russia, he was actually hired to make the crown originally in 1949, and then to change it up a little bit in a few years later. But by 1959, in 10 years, they decided that this crown weighed about 3 pounds, and it was just far too heavy. It gave the Tulip Queen headaches. It interfered with her poise and glamour, because can you imagine wearing this 3-pound item on your head while you're walking downstairs or doing all the duties associated with the queen? So at that point, they hired someone else, a local jeweler, to create a different crown out of sterling silver that was much lighter in weight. And this crown has seen a lot of wear and tear, so it's not in the best condition, but it's still an important relic for us to have here at the museum. It's got these fake jewels in it. It's made of silver. At the time, it was described as having orange enamel to represent the orange wonder tulip associated with the one that was given to Albany by Queen Wilhelmina. So again, that enamel work has since gone from this crown, and we know that this plastic tulip is a replacement. So those are the 2 crowns in our collection. But what's a queen without a scepter? So we actually own, in this collection, the Tulip Queen scepter in this original box that it was probably kept in from year to year. And this box, you can see it says Tulip Queen, right? It looks very homemade, but everybody's very proud of this. This is from the 50s again. And when you open it up, it has a little custom cutout place for the tulip scepter. So the scepter, again, is a representation of that orange wonder tulip. It's a little bit of orange and red, but now it's a little more yellow. It probably had a little glitter on it. So this was carried by the Tulip Queen during official engagements. There are many photographs of the Queen carrying the scepter. This is very lightweight. It's sort of like a magic wand. It's kind of fun. But if you want to see this in person, just give me a call. I don't know if the Tulip Queen has a scepter now, but this is just a nice, you can tell it was lovingly cared for. It's been rewired. It's been refurbished from year to year. It's got this green tape around it, so it's not, but it's meant to be seen from a distance. But this would be, she would take this to hospital visits, and I'll show you some photographs of what the Tulip Queen did during her reign back in the 1950s. So our collection includes 5 mammoth, incredibly heavy, you can see me try to pick this up right now, scrapbooks related to the Tulip Queen Festival starting in 1951. We don't know when they started creating these scrapbooks, but we only have 5, and they end in 1961. These are just a treasure trove of information, and I'm going to show you a few pages from the ephemera, from the tickets to the royal balls, from the programs for the festival, from newspaper clippings about the selection of the Tulip Queen, and this one is from 1953. So let's find you a fun page to look at. So there was always a festival ball, as you know, at the Armory back then. There were also very impressive tulip flower festival here at the Albany Institute, which we hosted, a juried competition of designs incorporating tulips. So this is a Tulip Queen dinner. Here is a Tulip Festival ball at the State Armory, and I bet you didn't know that there was a Tulip Queen song called When Tulips Bloom Again. So you could call me up if you want me to scan this or just take a photograph of it, and you can sing the Tulip Queen When Tulips Bloom Again, which was written by Betty Crummy Now, music was by Betty Crumb and words were by Gene Steffens. So if no one knows about the Tulip Queen song, here it is from 1953. And what I'm going to end with something that I found fascinating. Here's a menu for the Tulip Queen dinner held at the DeWitt Clinton Crystal Dining Room in 1953. And one of the things that I noticed the most, I love reading menus. I think everybody relates to food. You're all going to be eating dinner tonight or another day. Listing the different foods. It ends, one of the dessert choices was a tulip parfait. This was a dinner given on Saturday, May 16th, again in 1953. But it mentions a tulip cocktail, and I didn't know anything about a tulip cocktail. It was 60 cents to order a tulip cocktail at the DeWitt Clinton Crystal Dining Room, and the cocktail was, it simply says, Dubonnet and gin with a twist of lemon peel. It doesn't have the proportions, but I leave that up to you to try and to make one yourself and let us know how it tastes. So again, Dubonnet and gin with a twist of lemon peel. It was the official tulip cocktail served in 1953. Perhaps we should start a tradition again.
I'm Kaya. I'm the 2020 Tulip Queen, and I have with me my fellow court member, Maya.
Hello, everyone.
Our fellow members, Kim, Karina, and Sam, were not able to make it today, but we love them very much, so shout out to them. This year was kind of crazy, I'm sure you all know, but we were able to get some really cool things done. We did a couple of drives, like with the Humane Society, with the Red Bookshelf, with Rise. And what else, Maya?
I think our biggest impact for the 2020 Tulip season was our literacy program with the Boys and Girls Club. We were very happy to get out in our community and make an impact with the children and see them smile. We did an everyday hero theme, and we made sure the kids knew how to be a hero in their community and how we help be heroes in our own community by being the queen in the court.
So we also have the Tulip Queen in Court Facebook page where we do our Tulip Court podcast, and we have little story times that we do every once in a while.
That's where you'll find a lot of our events and what's going on, so feel free to follow the page and stay up to date with the 2020 Tulip Court and the future Tulip Courts.
Yeah, we are so excited to welcome the 2021 Tulip Court, and we wish them the best of luck, and hopefully we'll see you guys at future events.
Hello everyone, delighted to take part in the Virtual Tulip Ball this year after our COVID year. I'm delighted to say that the Irish American Heritage Museum is open for business. Naturally we were closed for a little bit last year, but we are in our new location at 21 Quackenbush Square. We have largely renovated it, although we're still tweaking some things. We have a gorgeous Irish dance costume exhibit on view at the moment, so we welcome you all to come down there. And of course we have a very full lineup of events and talks and concerts and lectures, some of which you can now attend in person, but all of which are available online. So we would encourage you to follow us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or visit our website irish-us.org. It has been a fantastic year in some ways. I think it shows the community has come together. We're all trying and striving and hoping that we can stick it out. So congratulations everybody at the Tulip Ball. Looking forward to seeing you all, and let's hope that 2022 is a better year for everyone. Thank you.
mission of Albany Center Gallery is to promote and exhibit contemporary visual art produced by emerging and established artists living primarily in the region, and to inspire interest and provide enjoyment to an increasingly diverse audience. It also focuses on creating and providing opportunities for regional artists, offering impactful programming and outreach, inspiring young creatives, and introducing community members to thoughtful artwork, all while collaborating with local businesses and fostering an inclusive, welcoming art space for individuals of all backgrounds. At Albany Center Gallery, we believe that art should be accessible to everyone. This includes creating, admiring, and supporting creative works. All of Albany Center Gallery's exhibitions, receptions, and artist interviews are free and open to the public. The exhibitions are chosen based on topics that engage a broad and diverse audience. For over 40 years, Albany Center Gallery has provided a platform for the work of contemporary visual artists to engage the public. Because of people like you, we can do so much more. Let's bring more art everywhere together.
Welcome back. I've been coming to the Y for the last 17 years, and it's been a great experience having the classes outside, some of them inside. Precautions are taken by everyone. Everybody wears a mask. They clean. The staff has been fantastic, and it's been a very good experience. Come take a tour of the building, see what we're doing here. It's been fantastic.
This works when we work together.
I swim in the pool predominantly, and I have to tell you, I have felt safe from the minute that I walked into the door till I got into the pool, swam, and back out again. They have done a stellar job in making sure that all of their members are safe and feel comfortable while they're here at the Y.
We've missed you and can't wait to see you.
My experience has always been good before the pandemic. Since the pandemic, it's gone through the roof. With the members, or not so much the members, but the staff, how they've cleaned the place up. Sometimes I feel this place is more sterile than the hospital. I tell my friends who used to be members and used to come here on a regular basis, please come on back. I really appreciate the people, what they've done for us.
Citizens fits the flow of your life with convenient and easy-to-use tech that makes you ready to wake up, pay your friend back with Zelle in the Citizens mobile app, all before your morning snooze. Quickly buy groceries with your Citizens card and your digital wallet for your next culinary adventure. And easily deposit that birthday check with mobile deposit. So whether you're relaxing, creating, or celebrating, we have tech that fits the flow of your life. Citizens, made ready.
Today, we have the opportunity to see this beautiful new garden that got installed in Albany, and Jen and I have been talking about it for a while. So here we are, and we get to check out Mayor Kathy Sheehan's gardens. Well, thank you. It is really exciting to have you here. You know, this has been a big project. You know, when we bought this house on First Street, there was this empty lot next to it.
I envisioned, you know, creating a garden here. And then we learned that there was a house buried in this lot, and it was full of rubble and full of bricks and concrete and all kinds of stuff.
So very old Albany.
Very, very old Albany. And so we realized we were going to have to do something a little different. And I was really able to fortunately find someone in the area who builds beautiful raised beds. And he came and has created, you know, really the canvas for me to start a brand new garden.
These are beautiful. Have you always been a gardener?
I have always enjoyed gardening. I call myself a frustrated gardener because, you know, taking the time to really get to know what I can do and where I should do it takes a lot of patience and a lot of planning. But I knew that I wanted an apple orchard, so I started with 2 apple trees. I've joked with the guys down at Nijmegen that, you know, when I finally have apples 3 years from now, maybe they can make a cider from it. You know, these are really purpose-built beds for the 2 apple trees that I have here.
These are beautiful. I have to say that the woodwork alone on these raised gardens are just exquisite.
Great.
So.
Well, thanks.
Yes. What kind of apple trees do you have?
So I have a Crunch-A-Bunch, which makes a green apple that's good for baking. I love to make an apple crisp. So I chose that variety for that, and then I have a Fuji, which is also good for baking, but you know, good for eating as well.
Nice. You're gonna have to share your apple crisp with us because that's my personal favorite. So,
so yes, all about you know, what we can do in the garden that we can also do you know, and enjoy later in the year.
So you were mentioning that you have seeds in the house that you're going to propagate. What did you purchase for summer?
So I haven't purchased anything yet as far as flower seeds. I have friends who are really interested in helping with the garden. So friends who collected seeds from, you know, their gardens last year and have shared them. So I've already started to make sure that I know where those seeds can be planted, the type of sunlight that they need, when I can plant them. As you know, it's May, and so this is when gardeners go crazy because we love to garden, but we know that we have to be patient. But I am really looking for it. It's a variety of annuals and perennials. My neighbors have offered to allow me to dig up and thin out, you know, some of their beds, and so I think that's the one great thing about gardening is that we share.
Yes.
And when we have things that we love, we want to share them with others.
Yes, that is actually one of my neighbors just said, "Oh, I have tiger lilies. Anybody who wants to come down, we'll share." And I'm like, I gotta get there.
We share all of our vegetable seedlings, so.
Yep.
Well, that's another thing that I would love to show you because I don't have any flowers growing yet, obviously. But I do have a vegetable garden that I created myself.
Oh, well, take us to it.
Sure. This is my homemade recycled bee box garden. So I found some old bee boxes on Facebook Marketplace, and the person who was selling them said they would make great little planters. So I doubled some of them up to have the depth, like for my carrots. But they also are great, you know, as we know, Jessica and I were just talking about how mint will take off and take over your garden, but I have it contained in its own little bee box. So all I had to do was I just took some of the, you know, the fabric that you use to protect against weeds, stapled that on the bottom. I used some chicken wire to just make it stable so that it wouldn't fall, you know, if you pick it up, the whole dirt won't fall out of the bottom. And I'm growing some herbs. I have some lettuce, some carrots. I know cucumbers like to spread out, but I'm going to see what I can do, get a cucumber or 2 out of there. And some green beans. And so I look forward to kind of experimenting a little bit, see what works and see what doesn't work.
It's so cool that you can actually see the remnants of what the bees have left behind.
Absolutely. And, you know, what a waste to throw something like this away. And I think, you know, it's cute. And the thing that I like about it, because, you know, I'm not as young as I used to be. You know, I was able to just get some cinder blocks and some pieces of wood and, you know, have this raised a little bit so that I'm not kneeling and weeding, and I can stand and pick my herbs when I come out here to grab some basil when I'm going to be making pesto, or, you know, some mint when I'm making a mojito.
Much easier on the back. Well, it also shows that for anyone that has a smaller space that they can still do city gardening. So they can recycle by reusing objects, and they have a small space, but they can get so much out of it.
Absolutely. So You know, we've had some good rain, and we'll see what happens. I'll take a picture and send it to you guys when I have an update. So this is a Japanese Stewardia, and you know, I had some limitations. I had to have something that its root structure could fit in a raised bed that isn't going to grow too big. And I love trees as sculpture. You know, I love a beautiful trunk and bark. An exfoliating trunk is something that I think is beautiful when I see it. So this has an exfoliating trunk. It has a beautiful white flower, a little buttercup flower. It turns bright orange in the fall. And you know, it will be able to be contained within the bed that I had. So that took a lot of research, and a very patient nursery owner who kind of walked me through what would be possible here, you know, in this spot.
It's always great when you have a nursery owner who can walk you through the steps, and you know, it's really a community once you get those people together.
Exactly. And you know, I think that it just goes to show that, you know, when a lot of people, when they think about trees, you know, they're thinking about shade, but you know, I do think, especially when you have this type of space, you know, smaller space, you know, every piece of it is precious. So for those city gardens, being able to have something that's a focal point that is unique and that's going to give you, you know, a lot of show throughout the entire growing season, you know, that's something that that I wanted to be able to accomplish.
Jenna gives tulips to the neighborhood group around here, and she was told that you helped plant some in the park across the street.
The tulips in the park across the street are great. You know, I talk about this when, you know, when people ask about their parks and gardens and their neighborhoods. You know, a lot of what people see in the city is not work that is actually performed by our Department of General Services. You make it possible by giving us the supplies, but then it's people in the neighborhood being willing to take a Saturday and go across the street and dig and get those bulbs in. And in this neighborhood, we've just kind of very informally each adopted a bed. So when the tulips are gone, I'll head over. I'll see whether the perennials that I bought last year come back up. That's what the thing about gardening. I bought some perennials that got a little more sun than I thought they were going to get. So I'm not sure what will come back, but you know, we'll try again.
As a city employee, I have gardened in that park for 17 years, and there's a lot that goes in and out, so it's an interesting space to garden.
Yeah, well, you know, it is a heavily used dog park.
Yes.
It is a gathering spot for families. You know, it's one of the things I love about living here, you know, because we watch you know, groups of young kids go over there with their dogs and play and play and play. They can play for hours in that park. And, you know, and then it's also just the convenience of being able to have a dog park right across the street, right in the neighborhood. Yep. So it's used by many of the people in the neighborhood and people who come here from far and wide.
But it's so loved, and it's so well maintained, like you said, by the neighborhood. I mean, we do come and maintain it, but it's so nice to have neighbors who really care, and they go over and they take care of it, and they'll walk and they'll pick up trash, and they'll take a Saturday out, like you said. And it's really Albany's neighborhoods that make Albany's neighborhoods. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I think that's, you know, we've seen these neighborhood cleanups around, you know, Love Albany as we've come out of this pandemic, and it's been incredible to see groups from all over the city. Whether it's a park, whether it's a street, whether it's you know, just an island, you know, one of our traffic islands, to see people out there really taking ownership of them. You know, I mean, as you know, the Department of General Services has a lot of responsibilities and a lot of parkland to take care of. And you know, I know that you know, acres and acres and acres of parkland to take care of, and so you know, the ability to be able to say, here, folks, here are some rakes, here are some lawn bags, you know, go to it, helps all of us to be able to keep the city beautiful.
Yes.
It also helps to tie in the neighborhood friendships, especially when other neighborhood associations will help the other ones, and they all come together, and it really builds the community.
Absolutely, and it's great to see the excitement around it. And now, as people are going out to our multiple, through our partnership with Capital Roots, right? All of the different community gardens, and then that's another whole level of sharing, because people grow food, they share it, they donate it, they again have entire communities built up around those gardens. Well, it's been wonderful showing you my garden. It'll be a work in progress for years to come, but that's the wonderful thing about gardens, is that there's something that you can do for your entire life.
Oh, yes.
And it's a little bit different every year. So
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to see what comes of this in the future.
Thanks.
We hope to be invited back.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I gotta tell you something about yourself. You wonder who flawless, oh, you're sexy lady. You're walking around here like you wanna be someone else. Oh, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine, fine, so fine. Oh, girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh mine, mine, oh mine. Treasure, that is what you are. Honey, you're my golden star. No, you make my wish come true. If you let me treasure you, if you let me treasure you. Pretty girl, pretty girl, pretty girl should be smiling. A girl like you should never look so blue. You're everything I see in my dreams. I wouldn't say that to you if it wasn't true. Oh, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine, fine, so fine. Oh, girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh mine, mine, oh mine. Treasure, that is what you are. Honey, you're my golden star. No, you make my wish come true.
Citizens fits the flow of your life with convenient and easy-to-use tech that makes you ready to wake up, pay your friend back with Zelle in the Citizens mobile app, all before your morning snooze. Quickly buy groceries with your Citizens card and your digital wallet for your next culinary adventure. And easily deposit that birthday check with mobile deposit. So whether you're relaxing, creating, or celebrating, we have tech that fits the flow of your life. Citizens, made ready.